Good Sunday morning on this 7th day of October 2012. This is Nana Beyond. I'm Andy Kaye. My guest for this segment is Blake Bradley. He's the vice president of Project 150, a nonprofit organization that helps homeless teenagers in the Valley. Good morning and welcome, Blake.
Good morning, Andy. Thanks for having us.
Always a pleasure. Give me the latest update on how things are going with Project 150.
Well, I just have to say they're going great. They're going absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I should say.
Oh, well, getting a response from the community.
Yeah, well, it's good in a way that we're very busy and very active. Of course, it's unfortunate that we have the kids that they're in the situation that they're in. But as far as Project 150 goes, we're now in 18 high schools. So in literally 9 months from when we started in December till now, we've got access into 18 high schools, and things are looking up in our world for sure.
For those who haven't heard of Project 150, give me a refresher course on what Project 150 does in the Valley.
Well, our main focus is providing the basic needs to homeless and displaced high school students. Our goal is to keep these kids in school, so provide them with the food, clothing, things they need, things they can't afford, things they might otherwise not have, to keep them in school so they can graduate, get a diploma, and move on with their life.
These are homeless teenagers that want to stay in school.
That's the beautiful part. I mean, there's no more motivation for us than to help some kids that want to stay in school. And with the graduation rate being what it is in Las Vegas, and then you realize there's kids out there that are literally couch surfing from friend's house to relative's house, and 10 people staying in one house, and these kids are still showing up at school every day. That's a big motivation for us to see what we can do to help these kids out and get them through.
What are some of the basic needs that you collect for the homeless teens?
The biggest thing we need right now for these kids tends to be food, snack items. Keep them. What we do is the schools that we're in, most of them have what they call a hope room, and it's staffed by the school. Sometimes it's staffed by other people's organizations, such as communities and schools, like for instance at Chaparral. This hope room is where kids know they can go, and if they didn't get a bite to eat that morning, or they didn't get a bite to eat for the night before, they can come into the hope room, grab a snack, grab an apple, grab some juice, and get on with their day. They can also come back and check in at the hope room and say, I need some clothes, I need some underwear, I need socks, I need a bra, and those are the things that we're trying to provide. It's our focus is the basic needs for these kids.
For those who would like to donate, a lot of people, kids and families, they grow older and grow out of their clothes. Well, how could they donate to Project 150?
Any one of the Harmony Homes location sales offices around town, if you go online, you go to harmonyhomes.com, any one of the Harmony Homes offices will take clothing, and they will get them to us. We have a warehouse where we house the clothes, and then we, based on the needs of the certain schools, we'll go out and deliver those back to the schools. Another ways of donating back or giving back, though, is through our website.
Okay.
And then you can find also the Harmony Homes locations there, project150lv.org. And there we have a PayPal account set up, too, if people wanted to do cash donations. We take in-kind, too. We've received a lot of food cards from local restaurants or local fast food places. And one of the things we try and do is stay out of is putting cash in anybody's hands. We want to deliver them the end product, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so, especially with like a gift card where they can take it to a Burger King or a Carl's Jr., for example. Yeah. And use that.
What increment? $10?
$5, $10, anything's appreciated. I mean, we're not going to turn away anything, but it's. I mean, any more days, it's probably going to cost you $10 to get a decent restaurant or decent meal at a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, I'm figuring $7-8. Come to a total for a healthy or for a good lunch as well, a filling lunch. All right. And clothing, we go to project150lv.org, the website, different locations of Harmony Homes or drop-off sites. Does Project 150 have a drop-off site? There?
It's all the Harmony Homes locations.
Homes. Okay.
Yep. They've been very kind to us, very helpful for us, and we've actually established an office within their main headquarters where they've given us a little office to work out of. So that's kind of our home base for now. Oh, and one thing too, Andy, is we're literally, grassroots. We have no paid employees. We're all doing this. We all have day jobs, and this is all out of the kindness of our heart. And if anything, we could use too is more volunteers. We're up to probably about 60 volunteers that we have via our Facebook site. But like every of the 18 schools I mentioned, where we have what we call an advocate that's at the school that delivers clothing or delivers whatever they need, and so we have those are all volunteer people that work for us.
What are the qualifications in a volunteer that you're looking for?
Well,
Any age, certain age, 18, 15, or
we're looking for adults. And
adults,
all of ours are at least 21 years of age, and speaking Spanish doesn't hurt.
Good.
But it's just somebody that wants to give back. And one of the things, Andy, that I've been involved with various charities over the past 10, 11 years, and this is the one that I had no affiliation with whatsoever before we started. And yet you see the results and you see what happens. You see the amount of people that thank you and that are appreciative, not only from the school, but from the kids themselves. And I think once a volunteer gets involved and starts seeing that firsthand, it changes everything. It really does.
I've had different representatives from Project 150 on this show, listeners, avid listeners of this program every Sunday morning. Hopefully recall you being on, and as I've heard your stories about your growth and what you're doing in the community to help these homeless teenagers, it's just such a pleasure to see that the progress is being made. Of course, this is such a huge issue in the Valley. It's not going to be solved overnight, but it's really a pleasure to see you making headway in helping so many children. How many homeless teens are there in the Valley? Is there a number?
Last year, the school district reported there was about 5,000 homeless kids in the school district. And while they don't report the number of high school students directly to us, it is about 63. The number's up to 6,300 this year. So, and that's in the school district itself. So we don't have an exact number for each school, but we're figuring 1,500 kids at least. That are maybe even 2,000 that we're trying to help.
Yeah, and that number keeps going up. Well, the number could possibly keep rising. What about the homeless teen that might be hearing this program somehow get involved with Project 150, isn't aware of Project 150, who is a homeless teen but still attending school and hasn't quite heard about Project 150?
Well, one of the things we do is we try and stick and work through the school district.
Okay.
Because the privacy issues and all that, we try and not deal with the kids if at all possible. So my recommendation would be they go to their school advocate, go to their school, go to their counselor, and just say and let people know. And the number that I just mentioned, the 6,300, those are the kids that literally an envelope has gone out to the parents' house and it came back. So they know nobody's home anymore, but their kids are still in school. So they determine that to be homeless.
Yeah.
The number of 6,300 isn't people. It's really not the real number because it's only the people they know about.
Right.
So, like the person you just mentioned, I mean, he may not be registered at the school, but he's having a hard time, and he's not living at home. He's not living under his roof. He's living at somebody else's house, but he's not even in that number. So he's the one that needs to check in with his counselor and say, hey, I'm here. I need some help. And these schools have been absolutely wonderful when it comes to that.
That's great. That is great to hear. It's with all of the problems, the cutbacks the school district is having, but their still main focus is the children of the Valley, and be it the youngsters or the homeless teens that still, thank goodness for the Clark County School District,
Well, and that's just it. The people that we work with and see, and I wasn't sure how we would even have been, receptive in the very beginning, and they've welcomed us with open arms, all the way from Title I folks at the Clark County School District to the people within each school. It's all hands on deck, and everybody's here trying to make a difference.
In case you're just tuning in, my guest is Blake Bradley. He's the vice president and trustee for Project 150, nonprofit organizations that helps out homeless teenagers who are attending school but don't have a place to sleep when they leave school. And we're just raising awareness in the community about this growing problem here. Just the other day, I saw a teenager panhandling right here at Sahara and Durango. Now the panhandlers are getting younger, and it's not just around the Strip area or Flamingo and 15 where you see them on the different street corners. They're usually older, but now I'm seeing them on the street, and they're teenagers.
Yeah, they're in need. There's no question. I mean, and it's. I look back to when I was in school and the things that you'd worry about, things you'd wake up in the morning and worry about.
Yeah.
The things that these kids are waking up and worrying about weren't even on my radar, and it's still even hard for me to comprehend. But the beautiful part, as you first mentioned, I mean, these kids want to get a diploma and they want to stay in school. And that's our goal. And that's a lot of people's goal. And that's what we're working for.
These kids aren't drug addicts. They're not alcoholics. They're not pill poppers. These are kids who want an honest to goodness education to try and better themselves. But they're just having a hard time. Maybe things aren't good at home with the parents. It's a turbulent household. And, sometimes you just got to say, I got to go. And that's probably could be the root of a lot of these kids' situations.
Well, and one of the things too that we see is the kids, they don't have much at home, or their parents aren't being able to supply everything, and so they want to go out and get a job. So what do? They want to quit school so they can go out and get a job.
Right.
And so that's kind of our goal, is to see if we can keep them fed and keep them happy so that they're not suffering when they go home at night, and then they can stay in school. But it's a double-edged sword. They want to go out and work, but if they don't get the diploma, it's going to hurt them in the long run.
Right. Now, as we hear the first week of October is complete, and now it's coming into cooler weather, you're going to be looking for donations of jackets, etc.
Yeah, all anything and everything is appreciated.
Okay.
Any type of clothing item. We have proms coming up, and these kids are going to prom, and we're looking for prom dresses. We're looking for shoes for prom, for prom night.
That's right.
And those are the things that we try and lend back to the school, and then get them back, and then give them to another school. So those are certain things that we also try and do. We've got a program going on right now with that. So it's not, it's not just, it's a little bit of everything. One of the first things that when we first got started was, this was back November a year ago, and Don Perdue, our president, who went down to Rancho High School because there was a news story on Channel 3 about 150 homeless kids. And he's like, there's no way. And he goes down there, and one of the first things he sees is a kid who's really sweating it with the counselor because he doesn't have enough money for a cap and gown, which was $40. Wow. But it was November, and he's worried about cap and gown and graduation in November. I mean, in May.
Yeah.
But those were the things that he was sweating because he knew he wouldn't be able to come up with the money before then. So the little things in life that we're just trying to take care of in any way we can.
Well, hopefully the community, the generous community, will come out and support Project 150. Go to their website, project150lv.org. There you'll find out all the information you need to know on drop-off sites, or go to harmonyhomes.com is where you can drop off anything you want to donate. Looking for volunteers 21 years of age or older to help with these homeless teenagers. Anyone fast food organization would like to help out with gift cards. RTC with bus passes, perhaps.
Exactly.
Blake?
Oh, that's an ongoing need, and it's amazing to me. One of the things that I've seen is that how many different organizations that we work with. Like, for example, at Chaparral High School, you've got Communities in Schools, you've got Help of Southern Nevada, you've got the school themselves, and they're all buying bus passes for one reason or another. Yeah. Chaparral has a great program in the fact that if they do issue bus passes, the kid must maintain a 70 C average, 70 average, plus he has to be at school. And they keep track of all that, and they won't give him a bus pass if any one of those fall off. So, and it's the bus pass is designed for him to come back and forth to school.
Well, and there's the want for the education, so they'll continue to use those bus passes. If you or say anybody listening now that would happen to know of a homeless teenager, might be only know it between you and that person. This is, you can guide them to the school counselor so they can get involved with the Project 150 program and try and make things a little bit easier for those who are having a tough time.
It is, and it's an awareness thing too, within the kids at school themselves. Yeah. If they see somebody in trouble, it's not one of those things. It shouldn't be a shame to quietly mention to somebody, one of the counselors or your dean, that say, hey, so-and-so needs a little bit of help. You might want to look into it. It's just one of those things. It's for everybody to be aware.
Well, that's what this program's all about, to raise awareness within the community about the great things that Project 150 is doing, helping out homeless teenagers. And so once again, the website, project150lv.org. That's project150lv.org. You can give out a phone number here?
Sure, go ahead.
570-7214. That again, 570-7214. Also, you can go to harmonyhomes.com for drop-off locations and get all the information that we spoke about this morning. Thank you, Blake Bradley. That does it for this portion of Neon and Beyond. We'll be back in a minute.